going to take seminar on topic cubital fossa. Let's start with the headings to be covered in today's topic. So first we have definition, boundaries, and then roof, floor, contents, and finally applied anatomy. So let's see them one by one. First of all, we start with definition of cubital fossa. So what is a cubital fossa and where it is located? It is a triangular shaped depression located on front of elbow. Here, this cubital fossa in human body, it is actually an inverted triangle. That is, the apex will be directed downwards and the base will be directed upwards. So let's see next the boundaries. As we see, it is a triangle, so obviously we'll have an apex, base, and the two other sides we call them medial side and lateral side. So here they have given. So this is the cubital fossa, which is a triangular shaped depression, and medial to it we have pronator teres muscle, and then laterally we have the brachioradialis muscle. So here this is the right arm, so we say this is the medial side and this will be the lateral side. So medially we have pronator teres, laterally we have brachioradialis, and when we say about the limit of cubital fossa, medially it is limited by the lateral border of pronator teres muscle, and the lateral limit will be the medial border of brachioradialis muscle. So the apex will be the meeting point of these two muscles, so this will be the apex. And about the base actually it is formed by an imaginary line that connects the two epicondyles, that is, this is the lateral epicondyle and medial epicondyle of humerus. So this is the limits of cubital fossa. So next, base, as we have already said, it is directed upwards and it is formed by an imaginary line joining the front of two epicondyles of humerus. And about the apex, it is directed downwards and it is formed by the meeting point of brachioradialis muscle and pronator teres muscle. So next heading is roof. Roof actually it is formed by skin, then superficial fascia, and then deep fascia, and finally bicipital aponeurosis. We always know that the skin is the outermost cover of our entire body. So the uppermost cover of the cubital fossa is also the skin. So beneath the skin we have the superficial fascia. Here in the cubital fossa, the superficial fascia has few contents. So let's see them. First of all, it has median cubital vein. So this medial cubital vein connects the cephalic vein and basilic vein. So here this median cubital vein connects the cephalic vein and basilic vein. Then we have the lateral cutaneous nerve of forearm, and then we have the medial cutaneous nerve of forearm. So these are the contents present in the superficial fascia. And next we have the deep fascia beneath the superficial fascia, and at last we have this bicipital aponeurosis. So these are the roof of cubital fossa. So next heading will be the floor of cubital fossa. Actually it is formed by two muscles, and they are brachialis muscle and supinator muscle. So here this is the brachialis muscle and supinator muscle. In this is cross section. So here we have the brachialis muscle and this is the supinator muscle. So these two muscles form the floor of the cubital fossa. So next heading will be the contents of cubital fossa. So this is the main heading to be covered, and listen carefully to this. So first, let's see the contents from medial to laterally. So medial most content is a median nerve, and then we have brachial artery, and then biceps brachii tendon, and lateral most content is superficial branch of radial nerve. So here this MBBS, this is the mnemonic to remember the contents of cubital fossa. M stands for median nerve, B brachial artery, another B biceps brachii tendon, and S for superficial branch of radial nerve. So this is the diagram that represents the contents. So let's see them. So this is the medial side and this will be the lateral side. So we can see the medial epicondyle. So by this we can see this medial side. Okay. First, medial most content is the median nerve. This median nerve runs between the two heads, that is the superficial head and deep head of pronator teres muscle. And next to it we have the brachial artery. This brachial artery within the cubital fossa, it terminates or gives a terminal branch, that is radial artery and then ulnar artery. So these are the terminal branches of brachial artery. And then we have the biceps tendon, and then the lateral most content is the radial nerve. This radial nerve gives off posterior interosseous nerve, which pierces the supinator muscle. So next, the superficial branch of radial nerve, it runs to undercover of the brachioradialis muscle. So here these are the contents of cubital fossa. So next, let's see them one by one in detail. So median nerve, as we have already said, it is a medial most content of cubital fossa. This median nerve gives off branches, that is muscular branches, to these three muscles. They are flexor carpi radialis muscle, palmaris longus muscle, and flexor digitorum superficialis muscle. And the median nerve, as we have seen in the diagram, it passes between the superficial and deep heads of pronator teres muscle. So next we see about the brachial artery. This brachial artery lies medial to biceps brachii tendon, and we can also say it lies lateral to median nerve. And at the level of neck of radius within the cubital fossa, this brachial artery divides into radial artery and ulnar artery. So these are the terminal branches, that is here the brachial artery terminates and gives rise to radial artery and ulnar artery. So next let's see biceps brachii tendon. This tendon gets inserted into radial tuberosity, and this tendon gives an extension, and that extension is called as bicipital aponeurosis. This bicipital aponeurosis separates the median cubital vein and the brachial artery. By this, it protects the brachial artery during intravenous injection. So next, about superficial branch of radial nerve. So this is purely sensory nerve, and it passes under cover of brachioradialis muscle. And we have already seen this radial nerve gives off a branch, that is posterior interosseous nerve, which pierces the supinator muscle. So next, this is the final heading to be covered in the cubital fossa. So first point, the median cubital vein, which we have seen in the superficial fascia. This vein, as it lies superficially, it is the most commonly chosen vein for the intravenous injection. Next we have the brachial artery. So this brachial artery here in the cubital fossa, its pulsations can be felt, that is palpated and auscultated for recording blood pressure. So next one, we have already seen in the diagram that the median nerve, it passes between the superficial head and deep head of pronator teres muscle. In some people, like the long time workers like carpenters, weightlifters, in those people the pronator teres muscle may get injured and swollen. So due to this swelling, this may sometimes compress the median nerve, and that leads to pronator teres syndrome. So here see, we can see here that the median nerve passes between the two heads. So when they get swollen, so obviously it will compress the median nerve, and due to this compression, this syndrome occurs, and it is called as pronator teres syndrome. So this is about the applied aspect. So let's see summary. You can see the blue lines here. It is the outline of cubital fossa. It is a triangular shape, that is inverted triangular shape depression, and we can see the apex, base, medial and lateral sides, boundaries, and the contents. That's it. And contents here, these are the contents of cubital fossa: median nerve, brachial artery, biceps brachii tendon, and radial nerve. So this is the median nerve, brachial artery, biceps brachii tendon, and radial nerve. So this is from medial to lateral side. So that's it about cubital fossa. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you have got clear about this topic. Thank you.